Welcome, everybody, to the Sales Unscripted podcast. I don't know what to say next after that, but
Your
I'm Bryan
name?
Neal. I'm Bryan Neal.
And I'm Margaret Henney.
That's who we are. We were super unscripted last time. It looks like it's going the same direction.
Here we go.
Recording in the afternoons after the break is a good thing. We're so glad you're here. We got a great 2024 planned. This is our second year, isn't it?
It
Doing podcasts.
is.
Isn't that
We're
great?
in our year 2.
Why isn't that wild? How that happens?
It's nuts,
And we're just
man.
continue to go. The audience continues to grow, which we're so thankful of. We're happy.
Yeah.
And tell all your friends about us. We're going to do a little more, maybe promoting. this coming
Someone
year.
tagged us on
What?
LinkedIn
Who did?
and your other podcast too, because
Oh,
you've
did they
got
really?
two podcasts.
Oh, I do. That's
I
fun.
think you like chatted them. You were
Oh,
like,
maybe I
"Hey,
did.
thanks."
I
I
don't
can't remember who it was. I wish I could
Oh,
remember
that's
it.
fun. That's okay. You'll
But
get it back.
someone did this like great deed. I'll see if I can repost it. And they posted all of like their favorite sales podcasts. And it was just like a ton of them.
Yeah.
They were just
I did.
like,
I know who.
do you know what I'm talking about?
Lori Richardson.
Oh, I was
Lori
like,
Richardson,
this
because
is
it's a female
great.
podcast. Yes, because
Yeah, yeah.
yes, because
I
she was
thought
looking
that was cool.
for podcasts with women-hosted podcasts or co-hosted. So
Yeah.
I'll let you
Bam,
roll
baby.
that, and
Okay.
then I'll be here.
Okay, I love it.
Identifying
You'll be
as a
here.
Let's see. There's something I was going to ask. Oh, are you pro or against animals on planes?
We've talked about this before.
We have. Okay.
I am anti.
Okay, good.
And I like animals.
Well, it just happened again. And the problem with this one, I get it happens. I fly a lot.
Wait,
this
you
one was
gotta-
a barking dog.
You got to
Yeah,
find
you
a new
gotta-
pet peeve because we've already talked about it.
Okay. Well, I did mouth noises. I'm
did-
trying not to get old man.
We did big
We
vocabularies.
did big vocabularies. That's not a
Hate
pet
that.
peeve. That's just like a.
Okay.
I don't understand it. I don't understand it. Big vocabulary. You said you'd call me on that.
I know. I know.
I feel like it's something else to tell. How's married life going?
It's good.
You liking it?
This
You feel
is
married
funny.
now?
We are. Wait, October, November, December, January. 3 months.
Yeah, right.
3
90
months,
days.
baby. We're
90-day
in.
fiance,
So
90-day wedding.
boom. So
You're
far,
here.
so good. We're still married.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's
Bored?
been.
You
It's
just in
been
a groove
great.
now?
Oh, we're in a groove,
Did you
and
get
and
all
it
of your
feels so good, especially like
nice?
getting like a bunch of stuff out of the way.
Totally.
The wedding.
Small detail.
But now Derek's in his last year of law school, and we are chugging along.
You got a JOB, right?
He's got a JOB.
let's
He
go.
starts in the fall,
That
man.
crazy?
So yeah, we're super
My husband-
excited.
What's your husband do? He's an attorney. Here we
Derek
go
White,
again.
Esquire.
SQ. I don't even know what that stands for. That's great.
Esquire. That's what it stands for.
It's so funny because you
Isn't
guys
that
have
funny?
like, you both have like big jobs and you're.
Do
like,
we?
you know,
Is my job big?
Oh, I would say so.
I have a big girl job.
What's your title?
That's fun.
You're
Director of marketing.
That's a big. That's a
Director of
big kid
marketing.
job for sure.
Thank you.
Big kid job for
Okay.
sure. And, attorney and
Thank
yeah.
you. Attorney
living,
at law.
living in kind of a hipster part of Indy.
Oh, I love
Right?
our
You
neighborhood.
do live in a very hip part of town.
I do. Cottage home. Shout out to my cottage home people.
When you guys have kids, do you think you'll stay down there?
I want
raise your kids
to.
there.
I really hope that we do because I love our neighborhood.
Yeah.
We have the best neighbors
Oh, that's
ever.
great.
The whole
That's
neighborhood
good.
is wonderful. We're really close with people. But our house is small. So we'll see. We might be like, ooh, we need a little bit more room. So.
Are you when you get pregnant? I'm sending you good vibes.
Thank you
'cause
for
that might
putting
be,
that out
of
in the
course.
universe. Yes.
That are you someone who would be like more of a holistic hippie pregnancy person, or more of a give me the drugs pregnancy person?
I think I'm going to be holistic.
Are you really?
I think so.
Right up until the time you feel
Exactly.
Right?
Right.
Give
That's why
me
I'm
the
like,
fucking shot.
that's why
right
I'm like
now.
not committing to that shit. Because what if I change my mind and I'm like, forget it. Let's
Oh,
get
it's
out of
so
this tub
funny. It's
and
like,
give me the
we're gonna
drugs.
go underwater birth at home. And God bless people that do that. When
I know.
men can't even speak to childbirth. I get that part.
I
but
need
it's
doctors around though. That's for
think
sure.
so.
Even
I'm
if I
just-
go
right,
natural, I
right.
need some
it's a
doctors
thing,
around.
isn't it?
So yeah.
It's funny though. You can't really recreate pain, can you? Like once you
No,
feel it, even
people
though you
say
know it
you
hurt,
forget
you can't,
about
you
it.
do.
So
we'll see. And then like I know my first wife and I, when we brought our first kid home, we were going anti-pacifier. Because we
how'd
thought
that
we'll
go?
just soothe the baby. Oh my God. First night, I'm like, fucking
get that pacifier in his mouth.
jam in her mouth.
That's so
Oh,
funny.
It's 100%
I know
true.
all the stuff that you think. You're like, oh, they're not gonna have sugar and
Nope.
they're not gonna have this.
No, they
and
have
that. Like,
iPads and
yeah.
headphones and sugar and all
I
those
know.
things.
I
They
know.
just do.
It'll be fine.
It's just funny to watch. It's funny for me to watch. I'm stereotyping here, but millennial parents is funny for me to watch because they do a lot of things that Gen Xers didn't and don't do. It's just funny, you know.
Like helicopter parenting stuff or
just,
what?
just like even on the plane, like they strap their kids into a 19-part harness and put a helmet on them in a fireproof
Guess
bag.
what? If we going
and
down, we're
3
all
days of
going
us.
down.
Exactly. I'm like, you know what? I get what you're doing there for your own well-being, but
It's
yeah,
really for
we're
their
dropping
own
out of
brain.
33,000 feet at 700 miles an hour. Is not much going to help
Kiss
us here.
that baby.
No, probably not.
Yep.
Because back in the day, it was lap kids.
Oh yeah.
Back in the day, you probably never. Did you ever get on a plane that had smoking?
No,
my
but the
God.
bars had smoking even through when I was in college.
Okay, so you
which
know what
was
that's
like
like.
wild.
Unbelievable.
Or McDonald's. Do you remember there was a partition with
Totally.
fake plants?
Yes.
And it was like smoking section and
100%.
non-smoking.
That was it.
Like,
Think of this. You know how they did it on airplanes?
Oh,
They would
yeah.
sell tickets,
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
they'd sell smoking and non-smoking. And whenever the smoking people like were done, like,
Mm-hmm.
okay, we have 14, they'd count 14 seats from the back, and they put the smoking section sign right there.
Oh.
So if you're in the 15th,
You're
from the
right
back,
by all the
it's all right
smokers.
there. It's just,
They
and think
did
about smoking on an airplane. Like, what are we doing? There's 19,000 pounds of jet fuel
Just
all around us.
lighten
We're
up.
like,
No big deal. Go ahead and light that on
did
up.
you ever smoke?
No.
I've never smoked, ever.
No. I mean,
Never,
I
ever.
have smoked, but I'm like, people
Wasn't
had like
a
a
thing.
smoking phase in
Yeah,
like college
yeah.
or like whatever.
Or
no.
people are drunk smoker.
Yeah,
people say
no.
stuff. I just don't understand it.
No, not me.
Not my
It is
bag.
funny to think about though when people went to a restaurant and you were like, smoking, non, or first available.
Totally,
and you'd be like,
100%.
first
When's the last time you
available.
said that? Smoking on or first available? Oh my God.
Crazy.
And then now that it's gone, mostly you realize, like, if you are around someone who does smoke, how pungent this
pungent. Pungent, good word.
Did that on purpose. I did that on purpose.
He was okay, you guys. If you haven't listened to the
stinky is
last podcast, go back because he's over here acting like he doesn't have a big vocabulary. He just said
I said
pungent.
count the syllables.
What was the
Pungent,
other one
that's
that you said
two.
before? We were like,
A stoplight, was it? No?
what?
Or, okay.
I can't remember. Oh, I'll think I'm
Grass?
Okay.
Sunshine? No?
Pungent, big word, good word. All right, you have a topic
So I have
for
a topic
us.
that you
I
don't know about. You
what
literally,
it is.
Margaret has no idea what this
Because
topic is. What?
I will say we always
Yep.
say we're unscripted, which we are. But normally I say, hey, right before we get on the air, I'm like,
Yeah.
do you want to talk about blah blah blah? He's like, oh yeah, good topic. Let's do it.
Yep.
So we have some sort of awareness. I have exactly
Zero.
zero awareness.
Which this is on purpose.
Right now,
okay?
so,
I
okay.
want to talk to you today about your money script. Your
oh.
money script. Didn't
Okay.
see that coming, did
Okay,
you?
I did
you?
not.
No?
Like my money
Okey-dokey,
sales
right?
script when I'm
Your
talking to
money
someone
script.
about sales.
No. Your
or
money
just
script
money.
in general, because it's in all things. It's your
Okay.
life money script.
Okay, ask me
So
questions.
if you're listening to this, I want you to listen to our dialogue here, and I want you to roll through the process with us and start to. This is a little bit of a psychological
Okay.
evaluation, like just kind of not psych, like are we right or wrong?
Uh-huh.
It's just kind of being aware of our money script. The theory here is that we're in sales.
Mm-hmm.
We have two things money at hand. We have the conversation of the money with the customer.
Okay.
We also have our own commission.
Yes,
And most commission plans are uncapped. Is yours
Mm-hmm.
at Covideo uncapped?
uncapped.
So someone can make $1 billion per the commission plan.
No cap,
Right?
baby.
No cap.
That's right.
No cap. Oh, look at you dropping those Gen Z words. No cap. No cap. No cap. No cap. See?
Right? See?
Yeah, it works actually.
It
No
does.
cap. No
Double.
cap. It's really good. So, I want you listening to this to be aware that there's a strong psychological wiring about your relationship to money, how you were
Mm-hmm.
raised with it, what you think about it. That's both affecting good and bad, your ability to earn commission and your ability to talk about money with your clients.
Okay.
We all have this.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we start by just sort of acknowledging that. And this is an awareness exercise. We also set the room. There's no good or bad, no judgment.
Okay.
I don't care at all who you come from, where you are, how much money you have, what do you think's a lot, little, doesn't matter. It's
Right.
all whatever yours is your experience. You can't change it, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So think that. And then what we're doing awareness-wise is we're trying to examine our money script, like a psychological kind of open the, back doors of the past and say what, and then I'm
Peek
I'm
behind the
aware.
curtain.
Yep. How is this helping me and how is it hindering me?
Okay.
And the things could be both. It could be both.
Okay.
So first we start about, and I'll do a little bit of mine to share.
Yeah.
And then I want you to share yours as you're thinking about this. So
Okay.
you got to go back as far as we can to think about conversations with money from our parents with our
Okay.
parents. Okay.
Okay.
So I had kind of two money scripts working. My parents were divorced. So my
Mm-hmm.
dad's money script was he was always broke.
Mm-hmm.
He struggled financially always and always had a really good job, a six-figure job. He was
Mm-hmm. Okay.
master's degree in healthcare. He's a VP of a big hospital, multiple big hospitals, big job.
But he was always broke?
Always broke. Always spent more than he had. Always
Okay.
in debt. Constantly
Okay.
chasing the next thing. Using credit cards to buy things. Buying things before he had the cash to do it.
Okay. Okay.
Part of his philosophy, he was kind of a hippie, was can't take it with you.
Yeah.
Can't
Okay.
take it with you.
Okay.
Right? Whatever. My mom and my stepdad, neither went to college. My stepdad worked in a factory for 40 years. Never missed a day of work, by the way.
Oh,
he
that's
never missed one
awesome.
day of work.
Crazy.
Isn't it crazy? And then my mom started off as a part-time secretary after my dad and her split up, and then she worked up into being like the director and manager of a transportation division of an aluminum company, Alcoa. There's one up in Lafayette.
Yeah.
Alcoa. There's a big aluminum plant down where we're from, and she made really good money. And them
yeah.
together, I say really good money, but not like my dad, way less than him, but for never gone to college, good, maxed out income. So
Love it.
So they were savers, that sort of thing.
Yep.
My dad ended up passing away, unfortunately, about 6 years ago, bankrupt. He had no money, no cash, left absolutely nothing. Was just every week he would have, he'd get his Social Security. He'd pay his rent for his 1-bedroom apartment.
Wow.
He'd go to the bar and eat chicken wings and drink beer and walk back. That was his life. My mom and my stepdad live in a gated community in a 2,300 square foot house in Hilton Head, South Carolina.
Yeah. Wow.
Okay.
Oh, I love Hilton Head.
It's great, isn't it? So I have both of those things fighting me.
Yeah,
right? So I have the,
right.
you can't take it with you, whatever, but I have a save and frugal. So I've had both of those. I've been bankrupt. My first business failed. I went bankrupt. I know what it feels like to be behind on a car payment about to get repoed. I know what it feels like to never have to worry about money again, which is where I'm at now. And everything in between.
Yeah.
So that's kind of my thing. So when I think about that, I have this kind of lack of value sometimes. So when I go keynote speak, I get paid really well to do that.
Yeah.
I can't be the one in the sales process because I'll give it away for free. Because I love what I do. I don't value myself that much personally.
I see.
I'm like, I'll just come talk to you for
Yeah.
we'll do it for $2,000.
Yeah.
Where downstairs they'll sell it for $25,000.
Yeah.
Same
right.
speech, and the people pay for it.
Yes.
They do. I'm
totally.
out. I can't be in it. We just closed one of
That
them.
see, and that's that about yourself.
Yes,
that's
but I
part of
didn't
that
for a long time.
peeking behind of the curtain
100%.
thing. Okay, great.
And when I didn't know that, I limited myself because I didn't know that. Once I put a buffer in between that didn't care about my value of myself, they just knew what the market would do and pay.
Yes.
All of a sudden, those fees 10x'd.
Yep.
See that?
That's
and
awesome.
it's the same talk. And then you know what? I go give the talk. They're like, "That was the greatest talk ever. It was so awesome."
Right.
They love
Find
every
great
dime,
value in it.
massive value. And so shame on me for do you see that? But that's in there. So I've used what I'm teaching to put a mechanical mechanism in place, which is a buffer. I don't know anything other than knowing about it, but the speaking gigs I get are 100% closed by Steph and Colleen. I never, ever get
You don't even
in the
touch
middle
it.
of
I
No.
love it. Yeah.
Other than if they want to meet me in the vetting process, but in
Yeah.
terms of the economics and the deal, out of it totally.
Cool.
So, giving you some examples here. Everybody has a most money you've ever made and the least money you've ever made.
Yep.
And you think about that. You think about that's a ceiling. You've never been through that. What does it need or what do you take to go through the ceiling? And how is your money script pulling you back?
Yeah.
All right, you getting this?
That's funny.
This fun?
Okay, yeah, I got something to share then.
So share it. So just talk about yours and
Okay, so
there's free of judgment. There's no right and wrong in this. I was very vulnerable with mine. I told you.
I love it. Yes, thank you.
Lay it on us. Money
Okay,
script.
so history-wise, I always felt like I grew up quite wealthy. My dad was a doctor. My mom was a stay-at-home mom, and then she went back to work and was a teacher.
Yep.
And it's funny because then growing up too, and we had plenty, we're very comfortable, did so much, went on great vacations, like all this sort of thing.
Yeah.
Lived on the lake, had a boat, had a pool, very, very, very lucky.
Yes.
And then also you grow up and you see what real money looks like. And you're like, oh, I thought we were high rolling, which it felt like we were. We felt, and at the same time, my parents both came from very working class families who did well, but weren't doing anything fancy, right?
Yeah.
Like, one bathroom for all, 7 people living in the house or whatever, like very typical, but came from very middle class, hardworking, and then that was instilled in them. And so working for your money, earning your money was very, very important. And like deserving in the sense of like feeling like, hey, did you work hard for that? Like that feels good, right? So that was a really big part of our money script for
Can
sure.
I ask you a question about that?
Yeah.
Does it feel morally wrong if you didn't work hard for it?
Yes.
There you go.
It totally
See where we go?
does.
This is
And
great, isn't
it's
it?
kind of the
All
same
right.
thing because I was smiling when you were talking about like, hey, I'll just come talk to you for free. I feel like I love podcasting. I love webinars. I love speaking at conferences. I love doing that sort of thing. And it comes really easily and really naturally to me.
Yeah.
And so, and people give me really positive feedback on it. And I'm
Yes.
sort of like, whatever. I didn't work that hard. Like, I wish I would have tried harder. It wasn't difficult. And so I don't deserve your praise.
Yes. Right.
Yes.
Or your money. If someone
Or
wants to come,
certainly not your money.
podcast, we love you too as host. We want to buy your podcast for $1 million.
Feels weird.
You might say yes
Feels
to that,
weird.
but you're like, is it
I
worth
know.
$1 million? I mean, they're gonna pay us $1 million. Are they sure?
Yeah. Yeah.
And
yeah.
you're like, is something wrong with them?
Yep,
Right?
I know. The
Isn't that funny?
hard work about it
Yeah.
is really important.
Yeah, it's
And
interesting.
then
Good.
also my dad is the kind of guy who, this is really funny.
This is Fred.
This is Fred.
Yeah.
Who he loves, the things that he loves, he will spend good money on. And then the things that are not important to him, he's the kind of man, you better believe he's not valeting that car. There's no
Are you
chance.
serious?
No.
Oh, that's so
No.
funny.
Drives a Honda Accord that's like 12 years old. Like doesn't care about cars, same way as me. As you
So
know, I drive
funny.
a 2007
Yes,
Hyundai
I
Elantra.
know.
The seat's ripped up. It looks like a cat
that's
got at it, but it's just the way that it is. Whatever. Doesn't look like some wild animal got loose in the car.
Every once in a while, even though you're wealthy debutante from Monticello, you'll say things that are very Indiana, like it looks like a cat got after it. That's what Steph says all the time. My wife, she always says, well, the guy that he bought it off of. She says that all the time. She's the CEO of a company, really nice company. Yeah. Well, the guy that he bought his house off of, I guess,
like it fell off the back of his truck.
Like he bought it off of. Hey, let me take that from you, buddy. It's the truth, though. She says it all the time, and she owns it. She's like, "This is how I talk." I'm like, "I get it."
That's funny.
Well,
so, so anyway, I am very much the same. The things that I love, I will go out and spend a ton of money on a great meal because I love it and I love the experience and I think it's really fun and whatever. But I'll be damned when I have to buy a new car. I just want to drive this car until it gives up on me and I finally have to buy a new one. So,
and then you're going to get a 2012 Honda Accord from your dad. Like, hey, Fred, is that for sale? That's a nice thing.
I'll take that
another 100,000 miles in that
sucker.
Right, exactly.
Yeah. So, I don't know. I mean, that's part of part of my money story. Great. The other thing, too, this was interesting because you were talking about, where you've been. Yeah. So, I will acknowledge for sure I've had the big-time luxury that I knew if I ever got into trouble, I was always going to be fine. I got my parents.
Yes.
And I never, ever, ever wanted to ask them. I was like, I'm not doing it. Because there were a couple times where I was like, I go to the grocery store and you're like, oh shit, I got no money. I just spent everything here. Whatever. And you're feeling really kind of nervous about it. Cause my first job, I think I made $27,000 or something like that in 2007. And I was like, holy shit, this is great money, and now I'm making the most money I've ever made, which is great and very exciting. And it's funny cause I am someone who usually feels very content and I'm like, man, that's a pretty good amount of money. I think I'll be fine right here. I'll just plan it sit here and not ask for any more.
There you go.
So one of my other ideals too or my money, perspective is, being content and having enough is a big part of my money script.
Yep.
But it also means that I maybe am not as big of a striver as I probably should be or could be.
There you go. Good job, Margaret.
Thanks.
Breaking it down on the Sales Unscripted podcast.
Really laying it on the line.
No, but you have to do that. I feel like it's so important. We're taught such negative things, I think, about money. Not that money's the evil thing, but we don't talk about it. You're taught as a kid, well, money's a quiet subject. Don't ask people how much they make. Don't ask them, And then you're in sales and business and you need to advocate for yourself and ask for more money. Wait. The whole 27 years before that, you were telling me not to talk about it.
Money.
Now I'm supposed to ask for more.
Yeah.
It doesn't click. Does not click.
I know.
And I love that you acknowledged that ceiling of contentment for yourself because here's the part where the judgment goes away. Part of it's just saying, yeah, I'm good.
Yeah.
I am good. And there's nothing wrong. There's a point where you get to I'm good. And then where it gets to be problematic is when you're sitting there going, oh, I want to make more money. I want to make more money, but I don't ask, Now your script's coming forward, right?
Exactly.
It's saying, well, you didn't work hard enough for it. Or why would they pay you more? You're already doing what you right? You've shown them that you'll do this for this amount. Why would they? You need to work hard. So you would go and say, hey, I want to propose something. I wanted a $20,000 raise, but here's what I'll do for it. I'll do this thing and that thing and that thing and that thing, right?
Yeah.
Because it's tied. That's how it works.
Totally.
And then you sign up for more than you need to. Versus they would have said, if you would have asked for 20 grand more, they go, okay, we don't want to lose Margaret. We love her and we want to invest in her. So you get 20 grand for doing nothing.
Well, and I think there's a difference between contentment and complacency.
Oh, tell me about that.
Contentment is, where you're like, okay, yes, I have enough, but complacency is never imagining that it could be more and that could be okay as well. And not just around money, around a lot of different things, right?
That's really good.
The difference between contentment, which is and complacency. So never imagining that it could be more. So being happy with what you have. Yes.
I never even ask content is I'm good where I'm at and I still could
Exactly. And so it's more mindset sort of thing, right? Because they could look exactly the same. Contentment and complacency could look the same, but it's all about what's going on in your head and emotionally. And that's something that I don't want to fall into. I think I can sometimes and just be like, I'm a little complacent about striving towards what the next move is, whether that's asking for money or, maybe looking for a new job or different side hustles or whatever that might be, right? Where it's like, no, I should just be content with what I have. That's also, I think, a little bit of a Midwestern thing, right? Where you're kind of like, not that money is bad, but you're just sort of like, hey, don't get too big for your britches, man.
Yeah, it feels weird. Yeah. And it's so funny because there's a flaw in the logic. Because people say things like, money doesn't make you happy. I'm like, have you ever been broke? It sure does. A lack of it makes you really pissed. I guarantee you. And really stressed.
That's funny.
I guarantee you.
There's a line, and I'm going to screw this up, but my dad's favorite movie is It's a Wonderful Life.
Oh, yeah, totally.
And there's a line, something about like where they say something about money. His angel Clarence said something about money. And he goes, well, you'll find it comes in pretty handy down here, bub.
Yeah, right. Exactly. It's true.
My dad's like, that's a fact.
It's a fact. Yes. It makes life a lot easier than when you don't have it, And while it may not be able to buy happiness, what it can do is it can create convenience and a peacefulness of life that makes just life easier.
That sounds like something rich people would say too. Like, money can't buy you happiness. And if you
but
talk
I've been
to like
the same. I've been both. I've been both, and I'm just telling you. And it is. It's not like the problems don't go away, but when you don't have it and you're broke and you're struggling financially all the time, the amount of emotional damage that does to you across the board in your immediate family is people are so unaware of how hard that is on people. So hard, the struggle, the internal, then the shame that comes along with it. I had to fight through that for so long to get I had read this book about this guy went bankrupt too, but he made $1 bazillion, and he's like, being bankrupt doesn't mean you're a bad human. It just means you can't add very well. And I'm like, thank you. Okay, I'm not a bad person.
Yeah, exactly. Well, and I love that you're telling this because a lot of times I think we hear or we see people who are successful. I want to be that way, but we don't hear their origin story. And I am here to tell you that every super successful person has who has worked for it and is self-made, they have failed. 100%. In big ways. Huge. There is no one out there, and I mean this again, I'm not talking about nepo babies or people who inherited everything.
What are those? Nepotism babies.
But people who are self-made people or have had to, find their own way, absolutely they have failed at some point. And that's okay.
It's totally fine.
It's part of it.
So you're listening to this, and we hope that you're reflecting on your own money script. Because your money script is alive in you, whether you like it or not, it's going on. And it's showing itself all over the place. It's showing itself in how you sell, how you negotiate with anything money-wise, your income. People want to say, I want to go ask for a raise, and that your money script is in there. Well, it wouldn't go, you make the decisions on their behalf. A ceiling, to break through a ceiling, all of the above. Or if you're struggling financially, the things that you're thinking of, you might have comfort in struggling financially because that's how you were raised, and it just feels comfortable. And having a lot doesn't. It's just an interesting dynamic to explore.
Well, and something to keep in mind, too, and I think you mentioned this earlier, is your money script also informs your sales conversations when you're 100%. Talking to customers 100%. And potential customers about their money situation. And you most likely have two different stories. So just keep that in mind, right? Because it is hard, everything is coming through our own lens.
Yes.
So just try to have a little bit of separation there when they're talking about money and not always be putting your own story into their mouths.
Absolutely. On both sides. And people do that. I see this all the time, where there are certain salespeople that discount at the first ask.
Yes.
And when I delve into their money script, that's seriously.
Oh yeah.
Because when they delve into the money script, that's kind of what they're after. They're after a deal, or they grew up like you don't spend frivolous money on frivolous things, or you're always looking to negotiate down. That's sort of, you always do that. That's what you do, and that's a thing.
Yep.
And others don't, and so it's very correlated that way on both sides of that. Really good topic, isn't it?
Yeah. That's a
glad
great thing
you didn't know about it?
I am, yes, because I would have been like, my wheels would have been spinning, and instead we just got to go off of it. So I like it.
Sales
good one.
Unscripted. So go examine your money script. I will say tactically, it's good if you're driving. Don't do this now, but it's good to just sketch this out a little bit in writing. And I'm just like bullet points, not like freehand writing. Just bullet points to have it so you can look at it and go, yeah, dang, that's it. And then I go after each element. I go out help or hinder. I just examine that. Is it I've got this element, my dad was broke and can't take it with you. Help or hinder. A little bit of help, a little bit of hinder, a little bit of both, right? My mom and stepdad, frugal, saved, live below their means. Help.
Yeah, that's a help.
Almost all help. See, I'm just going through those things and examining that all the time.
Yeah.
And then I just let it go, and I let it be, right?
Yeah,
and I change where I need to change. It's really fun. Money script.
Cool.
Woo. It's a woo topic.
Think about woo. It is woo.
I can't wait to hear you woo at the Butler game. Woo! That's a callback. Was that last episode?
I think that was last episode.
Okay, that's it.
Right.
Hit us up on LinkedIn.
We'll
Go
see you
follow
next
us and
time.
see us on LinkedIn as individuals too. Shoot us a DM. I want someone to DM you.
I would love
that comes from the Sales Unscripted. Like,
Oh my
pick
God,
someone you don't know or
please.
something like that. We should have a contest.
Oh my God, who DMs you first?
No, the most.
The most.
Yeah, right. So we do like the month of February or something like that.
Yeah.
Who can get the most DMs from people that we don't know? That's the rule.
And you have to say a Sales Unscripted. This is how you heard about us, right? And I promise you, because I try to do this with everyone who does send me a personal message through DM, I send everyone a video. So I will.
Do you really?
Yes.
You're going to beat me then.
So I will send you a video.
No, I have to send everybody a video.
Yeah, you do.
Or Margaret's going to win. Okay, send us a DM. We'll see who gets the most DMs. Now everyone's going to send both of us. Maybe they won't. Maybe they'll vote. That's a good.
I hope they do.
Yeah. Maybe
Double
I'll just
the
retire.
messages, double the
You can do
fun.
Sales Unscripted by yourself.
Double mint gum.
Hi.
We got to go.
Goodbye. See ya.